Hey everyone, nice to be here with you today. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Vermont. For all the new folks who are out there, welcome. It's nice to have you. My spirit guides, I opened up the stream this morning and they haven't stopped talking. It's a lot of beautiful, really, really beautiful, soft, of course, watery, like this. Energy coming through for these beautiful water sign readings that are coming out today. So I've been clearing the deck, and as I've been doing it, cards are jumping out. So I do have some things on the table already. I'm just going to finish getting the cards while I shuffle. In case you need to contact me, book a reading, come to Moonrise Cottage for a sacred healing retreat, shamanic retreat. All that's in the information box below, okay? So, Spirit, what are the messages for beautiful Scorpio? First half of February. Look, again. Look at that. More healing. It's gorgeous. Scorpio. Beautiful. All right, Spirit. So, you know what? Basically, what I'm getting is just emotion, of course, and the desire to be. We're talking about being in your self, meaning your energy vibration, and wanting to be able to manifest that which you know, my spirit guides are saying at this point, and it has to do with the beautiful, the sacredness of the Scorpio desire. That's what it's about. And Scorpio, we know you have lots of desires. It's part of why we love you. Oh, okay. Amazing. So, all right, and here's the next card. So, Spirit has been talking nonstop since I started the readings for the first half of February about, all right, they're asking me to stop. I'm going to stop for a minute. About the effects of the eclipse and the fact that we really literally, because of this eclipse, we are going forward all together now, each in our own set point, in order to have, to come into our ability to have sacred vision. And I love that the reading is starting off with this beautiful male energy. That actually is the King of Cups. So I like it. Water sign energy, but the mystical portion of your being. And for Scorpio, this is spot on. It is about being a pathfinder. Spirit saying that is what you seek, your mystical ability to be in deep connection with the universe and to be able to translate that here in order to create a pathway for yourself going forward into your human journey. So that's the theme of this message, and we're going to explore that a little bit. So for those of you that might not know, this in Irish mythology, that is King Lu. He was a sacred pathfinder. He had the ability to clear away obstacles, which I think is Spirit saying that is the help, part of what's going to be able to become manifest out of your energy. The ability to find a pathway forward and to clearly understand what it is because of your connection with the sacred realm. Highly activated at the heart chakra with your particular set point of desire Spirit's talking about. And there we see, it's not just about male energy. There's a notation coming through about the eclipse and the way the male energy has come through that process of activation and awakening in order to have clarity, sacred clarity, male energy, moving yourself forward. So that's the theme that we're going to talk about. There's a lot of moon cards on the table, all kinds of things here. And so if that's the stuff of the message, this is how you exist in the moment under the light of that message. And again, beautiful male energy, sacred male energy, coming to this moment when you become completely aware with no hesitation, and Spirit saying with no limitations, stepping on this new pathway, beginning to activate the sacredness of the intention of male energy inside of you. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. So, falling to your knees in gratitude, in awe, in a sense, and communicating directly with the sacred realm. So we see it twice. It's really powerful that it's coming through, and this is exactly how it sits on the table. Finding the path forward, and then there you are. You have a moment of awakening. It's going to come over the course of this year that we're in, but in this moment coming through this eclipse, this is the place into which you have arrived inside your being. That's what my spirit guides are saying. So in terms of how you walk that, look, I love that this came up for you. The adventure of knowledge, the moment in which you step into your fears, fearing the worst, that there's a fire in the background. That is, this young man is having a vision. He stepped out to touch death, to touch the unknowable. Actually, this is a card about Halloween. And he had a vision, and he immediately traveled into the mystical realm. Spirit's talking about astral travel, things like that. Something happened, and he sort of flipped into the other side of reality, Spirit's saying. And there he met a banshee, a fairy, a woman, and asked for her help. And she basically said, you got to go back. You have to go back to the top side and cry out a warning, because you have the ability to move things forward. In this moment when the moon is full and the veil is thin, you can be in two places at once. And it's interesting that we see it here, because here's what sits right next to it. So here we're talking about the full cycle of this eclipse, when illusions are thrown off and magic comes through. Something happened at the eclipse when the portal opened, and you had some kind of an experience like this. I would love for you to tell me what that was all about. And there's the water, right? Really beautiful. So a notation about male energy, asking for assistance from the sacred feminine. And what comes is a fairy, a banshee, who guides him on his own journey. This card, if you don't, whoops, it's this one. If you don't know, is a story about a kingdom seeking water because their resource was running low and they were in danger. 3 people were sent out to find the water. Each one of them came across this woman, the sacred hag, who stood before them and offered access to the water, and there was a price, and the cost was love energy, right? In the fairy tale, they had to give her a kiss. And, she's covered with warts. It's not, Spirit says, not looking so savory. And there really was only one of those young men that was able to understand the moment. And that's what Spirit's talking with you about in terms of how these things come forward. So there is something very mystical in the in your understanding that is coming through because of this portal that opened. It is a plot. I believe it's about going deep into your own self, the male half of your energy, and doing some work on bonding it with the sacred feminine, because this woman, actually, that's an illusion. Spirit talking to me about Shrek. I guess part of that story is, Shrek's lover had a spell on her or something. It was the same thing. And because love was applied, this woman, the illusion of what she was, fell away, and she revealed herself. It's really interesting that these are paired up together, because it is about facing fears. It's about going into a place that uncharted territory. And, Scorpio is somebody who lives in the deepest stillness of the element of water. There is a transition going on, I believe, inside of you. Transformation, radical transformation in these ways. And look, here's the last card. All right, there's the moon card. Major Arcana, that is the imaginer of harmony. Diving deep into the still water, this vessel is here to take you any place you'd like to go when you travel into the mystical realm. It's interesting. So 3 cards that have to do with feminine energy and transformation, intuition, things coming to illumination because of this journey that you're on. And this is happening in your human life. So it's really interesting that the intensity with which basically my spirit guides are confirming and acknowledging you, the way you travel, the way you actually exist, and the challenge that it brings to you, because it's not easy, is it? And I have a really good friend who is a double water sign, and we have she's an amazing person, and we have a lot of conversations about this topic, in a sense, and about what the challenges are when you feel so much emotion and the things that you actually know. And you may not know them intellectually, but you know. Spirit saying, in the way that I know things. So there's the bridge card, the beautiful woman of healing. Beautiful. Coming through this transition of shift and change, mystical information, that which you can dream about. That a cycle that is ending, something new begins. And it is, in a sense, it's like a rebirth process. So this woman is a healer. She is picking herbs and flowers from a gravestone, and they grow up out of the bones of her brother who is deceased and is buried there. And she has light around her head, and she sits like this. Check it out. That's the process that you're going through as a result of this eclipse cycle and the new moon to full moon cycle. Coming across. 2 images about coming across. So that's the bridge card. There's a lot of healing that's coming because of this journey. My spirit guides want you to just be with it in the quiet place that you exist. Because there's the first card, whoops, on the soul level. Another indication of healing. Coming through this great journey. Facing your fears, because that's what this is about. And that's what this is about. So whatever the fears are that you're juggling, my spirit guides are saying, do what you know how to do best. Go deep and be with yourself quietly and just allow yourself to float there, because you can get in this vessel and go any place that you can imagine. And it's time to understand and to recapture, Spirit saying, the depth of the feminine energy that resides within you. And it's interesting to me that it is the male energy that leads the way into this journey. And it's about, Spirit's talking about, be a little bit fearless. Understand that you have the power to break through any illusions and to be directly connected and move the feminine energy forward. Once you bring that totally into yourself and you come into some form of alignment with the deeply mysterious nature that you embody, that's your purpose here. It is to vibrate in that way and to walk across the earth in that energy set point, because it does connect in very sacred ways with, Spirit's not talking about the tapestry and the fractals and the circuit and all those things that I've been talking about for a while. So there's a lot of healing going on. And the purpose on your soul level that you're working on, that we see reflected here on the earth, that's the renewer of devotion. There's something about your nature that you are trying to recapture and come to terms with, I think. It's about having a deep form of compassion. Let me show this to you. No, this way. For yourself, I think. We're talking. Spirit's saying you and you. Coming through this amazing journey for healing here on the earthly level. As the transition, as the energy begins to swirl within you and rise, this is what your soul is doing. Standing in a place, a sacred vessel, and look, you see how many vessels are in this reading? And so one of the things that my spirit guides have been talking about is understand that you are the vessel. I mean, it sounds like a platitude, I know, but there's some kind of a truth that I think is going to come when you reach this part of you with some fearlessness. I think the male energy moving forward deeply into the portal, deeply across, coming into alignment with the universe, renewing your devotion, and understanding how it is you stand. All right, so these figures represent a lot of things. It is known as the triple-hooded brothers, the sacred male energy, the triple goddess, the children of Brigid, coming into the sacred cauldron for healing in order to bond that which you are and that which you know into a form of compassion that is universal. And so it has to do with compassion for yourself, because we see that you are transforming. So just love yourself. If you're going through something really intense, step one, apply love and partner with yourself and perhaps with others that are showing up to help you, because that's what's going on in both of these cards. All of a sudden, somebody appears, and they're here to guide you through this incredible journey of shift and change that you're going through. And, Spirit's talking about birth, death, rebirth. That's not what this is about technically, but it's about what you can imagine as you're on this mystical journey that brings healing to you. So trust your desires, I think, is what part of what Spirit is saying. And there's the next card on the sacred realm. I love that. So there's the portal, another indication of the portal. This is the sacred alchemist, the mingler of energy. And I know this has come out. The water sign folks have been getting a lot of notification from my particular spirit guides. What it is when the universe has its whole intention on you. Really focused. Oops, sorry, backwards. Of course. Really focused on you as a spirit being, because this is about the circuit of your soul. And so you've traveled through this portal in a way that's really deep to collect your healing. It's what you are working on your personal soul circuit. And, I've been starting to remind people, you incarnated here in this moment to have the experience, and now it's upon you, because we are all meant to master our frequency in these days coming forward in 2019, because we're going to begin to develop the ability to be in connection with each other across time and space energetically, and to be able to travel together and to send energy to each other. And you are particularly well made for that purpose, Spirit says. And it is the essence of your desire. So on the soul level, your soul, the circuit of your soul, is intending to utilize the energy of the sacred goddess Coventina, the alchemist, who puts her whole attention upon your vessel, another vessel, in order to mingle your energies together and bring you into a place of wholeness. And she's one of her manifestations is as the butter churner. So it is about bringing things into solidity. I really like that. All right, whoop, pardon me. And so look at, I'm sorry. Look, there's the whole cycle. This process for you was initiated on the circuit of your soul with clear intention when this eclipse and moon cycle initiated. And you see the energy that's coming in? Beautiful. That's the sacred goddess Morphessa. She is the protector of sacred places. And it is a prophecy about what is coming forward. As you are activated through this beautiful portal, through the sacred travels that you are having within you, in these moments when the portal opens, a prophecy comes forward about being activated. And has a lot to do with the sacred cycle and the way things unfold, but it's also about self-activation. Being able now to shine your light in the place where you exist. So, from my perspective, given what my set point is and the experiences I have, this again is about your clairvoyance, your ability to see and to be in more than one place at a time. And it sounds a little odd, but I have experienced these things a lot in my life. So this is developing for you, and you begin to activate yourself in order to have this mystical energy that comes into you and through you, that transforms you completely, in order to come into the energy that's meant for you as we go through the year. All right, so now I'm being asked to get the outcome card. Okay, Spirit. What is the final message? Ooh, there it is. Unbelievable. This came out. There's actually 2 cards here. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put them just as they are. Okay. This literally just came out for Cancer. No, was it Pisces? I can't remember. I've done too many readings today. Go and look. You know, for a while I smashed up all the readings up together because there's a purpose for that too. Understand your cohort. Understand the energy that comes, that you vibrate with, because if you think about it like an instrument, it's a chord that you're a member of that vibrates. And that sacred vibration is meant to connect through all of those ports of entry, Spirit's saying. So just this year, while we're traveling and while we're learning and growing and stepping in to our ability to understand what it means when we say 4D or the event or the awakening, there are a lot of words out there about what's happening. Again, about being recaptured. So this is a story about a woman, the Queen of Skill, whose baby was stolen from her, and she was accused of wrongdoing. And of course, it wasn't true. And a long mystical process happened. The baby was returned to her, and her reputation was restored. And she has the key. It is with her in her travels. She always had it. And it was her journey to uncover the secrets of what had happened and move her destiny forward. So there's a message in there for you about the way in which you recapture yourself when this sacred reactivation happens. So that's one more thing I want to show you. And I always forget to say this, but I will post a picture of the cards on the community tab, okay? Look. There we go. That's how it sits on the table. The energy of the Pathfinder, sacred male energy, aligned with the moon card and the literal cycle of the moon. So on the spirit realm, when the new moon came and the eclipse came, something happened. And this is how you were activated. I think that's what this message is about. You become the Pathfinder in your own life. Male energy, power and intention moving forward, and the ability to remove whatever obstacles stand in the way, that's what that's about. And therefore, this new life comes forward. And you know what? On the center row, these 2 cards stand on either end. Really fascinating. It is about rebirth in a mystical way, a philosophical way. And then look at that. That is the second outcome card that Spirit wanted to talk about. So clearly, rebirth, coming through a portal. This is about a warrior who went through many incarnations while he was experiencing his transformation in stages. He has the stag there, stamina for the long journey, and looking across the water, and the sun is coming up. So fascinating to me how these things are displayed here. And it stands like this. Look. I can't wait for you to see the picture. Look at that. I mean, how amazing is that? It's really beautiful, Scorpio. And I am, it's been interesting as these readings have been coming out over the time that I've been here on YouTube. I have this, because I'm channeling out these messages and the cards are coming out to illustrate it. I have seen the factors of your journey with my own eyes, and I've heard from a lot of you. And I really love that we're in this moment. There have been a lot of moments of shift and change in order to prepare us for what our destiny is and how we're meant to come forward together and be able to blend our energy and be in communication with each other. So this is very deeply about being with yourself in these moments, especially these first 2 weeks of this month that we're in, having come through this portal and really, in a way, still standing in it. So for the next 6 months, as always, with an eclipse and with the moon cycle, you are going to be feeling not just your travel. You're going to really be in touch with your process, maybe in a way that you haven't been, because we see this here. And we see this transformation. Spirit saying, backed up by this desire that you have. And it is the imaginary of harmony about your inner being and your own soul and what you are trying to create that comes from the intuitive part of your nature. And look who's here. This is how it stands on the male and female energy that you possess is in a moment when it really can bond with itself and come into a great deal of healing as a result. So I love this message. I love that we see manifestations of the eclipse in Leo, okay, in a sense, on a surface level, love energy. And the way in which your love energy vibrates is extremely profound, as we know. The way in which you connect to the universe when you connect to another person. So from a vibratory perspective, if you can imagine that at its widest aperture, not just a single person or within your family or whatever, your close circle, really widely. That's the path you're stepping on, I believe, as we come forward and you recapture your energy after having a journey like that. So I'm going to come on over to the chat room, see if anybody's there. If you have questions, load them up into the thread, and we'll chat for a few minutes, okay? And if you have to head off on your day, thank you so much for being here. My pleasure, as always. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate your presence in your own life and your ability and willingness to come and spend some time with me. Have a wonderful day.